Namaste, this is Namboodiri for Global Indian News USA. Today is a very special occasion with a special personality, the man of the land, the man of marvelous mind, symbol of humanity, of course, sincere transparency. He has goals for the God's own country. He has his opinion of his own that made him unique slots in the minds of Kerala. His mantra is people first. Thank you, sir, for joining with us today during his
Thank you very much, Hariji.
busy schedule.
Very much.
And you always have very, very unique views on your own. That is a visionary leadership, because you are one of the governors I know with a difference. In Kerala is a piece of land embedded with inclusive socio-cultural and religious essence, which is documented in the last period of BC and early AD centuries. Could you feel any speciality in the social fabric of Kerala society to the rest of India, other than any political observations?
No, it has nothing to do with politics. The question that you are raising, actually, I would say that all these qualities or features which you have described, they are essentially features of the Indian society, of Indian culture, Indian civilization. And Kerala is the best, rather the shining example of embodiment of these basic cultural ideas. I'm sure you will agree that India is the only culture in the world. And here I'm not trying to demean others or despise. No, certainly not. Every culture has its own distinctive marks.
Uniqueness is there.
Founding virtues, rather.
Yes, sir.
And the founding virtue of Indian culture is that it has not been defined either by race or language or religious faith. It has been, because maybe our thought leaders had this problem before them, that India has always been a multiracial, multilingual, and in the sense that we use religion.
That's right.
In that sense, that is how people express their devotion to the deity in whom they believe.
That's right.
So these modes of worship have been, one ancient Indian book says, Bharteshu Istriya Purusho Nana Varna Pirkitite Nana Dev Archane Yukta Nana Karmani Kurvate. I mean, this is nothing new about this. This is at least about 3,000 years old, before these Semitic people subscribing to Semitic religion came to India. This is the situation.
They came to India, that's right.
No, they came to India, but it is much before that, that India recognized itself as a country or culture which has people, the women, men belong to different places. They worship different gods and they practice different customs and rituals. So, right from the beginning, because the Indian mind recognized that diversity is the law of nature, the only course of action open to them was if they define it by race, many others will be excluded.
Yes.
So is the case with language and religious faith. So what they adopted as the defining paradigm of Indian culture, it was Atma. Soul, spirit. Because it does not exclude anybody. It does not exclude even animals. It does not exclude even plants, because India, unlike other civilizations, realize that the animals also have a soul. The plants also have a soul. And since India realized it in remotest times, not after the discoveries of the science, we realized. So, but this Kerala is the most shining example of these Indian cultural features, where we actually, in Indian culture, if you look at it closely, the concept of other is not there.
Yeah, there is no other.
There is no concept of other. Everybody is interconnected through soul. The Brahma in the form of Atma that dwells in you, dwells in me.
Aham Brahmasmi and Tattvamasi.
Tattvamasi. In fact, so, I would go to the extent of saying that modern Europe has given the concept of dignity of mankind, from which flow all human rights.
That's right.
But ancient India gave the concept of divinity of mankind.
Divinity of mankind. I fully agree with you.
Which is totally inclusive. It includes everybody.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, its inclusiveness is the identity, and that's why the unity in diversity.
Yes.
And Kerala being the highest literary state, we believe that we have been appreciated by all over the world. And what do you think regarding your viewpoint of the literacy and the social behavior of Kerala?
The first time I developed my fascination for Kerala, I had not seen Kerala at that time. It was in 1969.
I did 69.
1969. I was not even 20 years old, less than that. I had gone to attend an event organized in Almora. It was then in 69, it was part of Uttar Pradesh. Uttar Pradesh. 69, the country was celebrating Gandhi centenary. And an inter-city meet was held at Almora. And I still remember the words of the principal of the local college, which was the venue of the event.
Okay.
In his welcome address, he said, he was applauding his own district. He said that Almora compares favorably with Kerala as far as the education, literacy rate is concerned.
So at the age of 20 in Almora?
I was not even 20 because it was in 69 and 51 born. So I developed that we know that Almora has very high literacy rate. It has always had very high.
Always like that.
And the principal is saying that it compares favorably. It means what this district has achieved, Kerala as a state has achieved it. Kerala. So my fascination for Kerala started from that event in Almora. And I wanted to visit Kerala at the earliest available opportunity, only to see.
Visit Kerala, understand.
I mean, it was not about the natural beauty of Kerala. It was not about the although as a sociology student, I had some idea that Kerala had a matrilineal society.
That's it.
But more than that, what fascinated me was that Kerala has very high literacy rate. Because we all know the importance of education. We know that is the real game changer. And in that sense, Kerala has been a leader state in it.
That's right.
I'm making this comment with all sincerity and genuineness. I thank my stars that God has given me this opportunity, that I have this great privilege of heading the Kerala field. Because Kerala is a wonderful, not only I said
Kerala equals Kerala.
Absolutely.
And my question is there any disconnect with the literacy rate and the social behavior? Or
not
really?
No, I mean, always in any society you will find instances where you will see this disconnect. So only to the extent. it is normal within tolerance limit, only to that extent. Because here I would like to mention, I found it very almost unacceptable that in a society like Kerala, there should be instances of cases of harassment for the dowry.
That's right. And you did a fasting.
That is a disconnect. That is a disconnect. But it does not remain a disconnect when you realize that within a month, since you mentioned about the fast, from the date of fasting, in about a month's time, the response which has come from the Kerala society was unbelievable.
That support and the need.
Not just support. I started receiving letters. Third day itself, when we decided that the young graduates, before receiving the degree, they will be signing, they will have to sign a bond or through an affidavit that they will not give or accept dowry.
Wow.
Yeah, not only
so
that.
It made an impact of
not only that, but we also announced that if it is found in the future that they have violated the oath, then university will be well within its rights to withdraw the degree. And then the government of Kerala also decided that same affidavit will be signed by all employees of the government. And any violation of this bond will invite disciplinary action, including dismissal from the service. So all this was done within a week of when the Gandhian organization gave call for observing fast, which I also joined. Yes. All this happened within 1 week. But the response was that 3 or 4 days after the fast, there was a marriage in Alipura. And when the Kerala, you must have seen, when the brides come, they look all
completely golden. Golden bride.
When she came, this young boy, he said, I have come to marry the young girl, not the jewelry. And he said, the marriage will be solemnized only after you remove all this jewelry, and she wears only a Mangal Sutra and 2 bangles. And then I started receiving number of letters. My son was married 3 days back, 4 days back, and I'm sending you the photos. We told the girl side, we will not accept any jewelry. This, when you hear about these cases where because of dowry, young girls are being harassed, and you feel that there is a disconnect. But when you see this response, then
it's come back.
You know, then you feel happy that the society has the ability to recover itself.
But Rome was not built in a day. Certainly. Slow and steady wins the race on any social situations. The personality of Sri Arif Mohammad Khan have the honesty, the integrity of itself, and when you become governor, there was, the people, your friends itself kind of critically evaluating your position as a governor and your thought pattern, perspectives and viewpoints, etc. How do you evaluate yourself?
I will not blame anybody, because the human psychology is such that we try to see the other person in our own mirror.
Yes.
I will translate it into English. Goswami Tulsidas, the author of Ramcharitmanas, Jaki rahi bhavna jaisi.
Jaki rahi bhavna jaisi.
Pirbhu dekhi tin murat.
Pirbhu dekhi
tin murat taisi.
Tin murat aisi.
Taisi. Even God, we see in our we are not able to rise above our own education
That's
and
right.
our own experience. Therefore, many a times, initially, people have doubts, people have suspicions. That is how the society.
I mean, we agree to disagree for
We
everything.
can agree to disagree. One thing I made it, I hope, it is not question of a statement, but through my actions I have made it clear that I have certain duties to perform.
Yes.
Others also have to perform certain duties. We all are accountable. And I should do, let everybody, it is not necessary that you agree with me on everything.
That's right.
But my own because I am here as representative of the Honorable President of India. The government has been elected by the people.
Yes.
No way I can do anything which will undermine an elected government. But at the same time,
That's right.
I have to ensure, I have to oversee that business of the government is conducted in accordance with the provisions of law and constitution. Sometimes it happens. I'm not saying something which is dramatic. No, we have, in all democracies, judiciary is created to make a judicial review.
That's right.
Because it is not necessary that elected government always, sometimes they are forced to take decisions, elected government, because of the popular pressure.
That's
And
right.
sometimes that may not be exactly in accordance with the letter and spirit of the Constitution. So our Constitution provides, on one hand, we have the final authority, that is for judicial review. On the other hand, before that, we also have a provision where we have a governor in every state who can make an administrative review
That's right.
or give advice to the government, or give his opinion to the government.
Yes.
It is, but at the same time, the authority of the elected government certainly cannot be undermined.
I mean, you know that his mantra is people's first. I mean, always people first.